Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show, a show that focuses on top real estate professionals who specialize in different niches of real estate. My name is Ben Kogut. Join me as we dive deep into the professional and personal lives of the experts of the real estate industry. Welcome to the Real Estate Niche Show. I'm your host, Ben Kogut, and today I have Nicole Gauthier on the show. She is the founder of Wicked Holdings, which is a real estate investment company focused on social change and community empowerment. She has been working on multifamily deals, raising capital, and we're going to hear more about that. And she is a woman who is dedicated to helping educate others on the concept of generational wealth and financial literacy skills. Nicole, thank you so much. Is there anything in your bio that you'd like me to add in there?
No, I think that you caught everything actually pretty good. And thank you for pronouncing my last name correctly too. That was really nice.
My pleasure. So let's dive into it. Tell us a little bit more about your background and what brought you into where you're at now and your involvement in real estate.
Yeah, for sure. So my background stems from corporate America. I used to work in the oil and gas industry as an accountant. Went to school for finance and really fell in love with the budgets and the numbers and all that fun stuff. And but then as I was working as an accountant, I realized that, hey, you know what? My personality is a little bit different than everyone else that's in here. And I felt like I was kind of like in a box in a sense. And so I think that the concept of entrepreneurship had kind of always called to me, and I just didn't know what that looked like. And then when COVID hit, I had a lot of time to self-reflect, like everyone else did, I'm sure. And that time to reflect and really figure out what all of my passions were led me to real estate investing and forming my company.
Very nice. So let's take that a little bit further. So what is it that you focus on within your company?
Yeah, so with my company, I focus on a little bit of the residential side. So with that, I've got a project that we're just wrapping up right now. It was my first BRRRR. So definitely took on a very wild project for the first time, but purchased a fixer-upper and gutted that and just improved the community and helped. Actually, the owner was in a bankruptcy. So it was really nice to be able to help them out of that, purchase the home and make those improvements. And then as well, so a little bit more on the residential side, a new development project that will be starting this year. And then I've also scaled my business into multifamily investing as well. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Awesome. Yeah, you really dove into it. The BRRRR strategy certainly seems to be one of the more popular ways for people to transition into real estate. And then I know that you were involved in that multifamily project. So tell us about that and how you got involved in that, and tell us about that.
Yeah, for sure. So I assume that's the Pasadena project.
The Pasadena project, yeah.
Yeah. So that one actually came my way through relationships. So as we both know in real estate, it's a lot about like who you know, not necessarily always what you know, but it stems into developing those genuine relationships with other people and seeing how you can provide value to them and help them grow, whether it's personally or in their business and vice versa. And so I had the opportunity to get onto that deal just from simply developing relationships with no sort of expectations or anything in return. So when they had the deal and they were going through, they asked if I'd help come on and raise capital. And I'm boots on the ground here, so I have that advantage as well, where I can kind of be their inside eyes too.
So let's, if you don't mind, I want to dive into that just a little bit. So you have a relationship with somebody that is trying to sponsor the acquisition of an apartment complex near Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all chatted and you said, "Hey, I'm going to come on board and have I guess a piece of the GP." Is that kind of what y'all do? And then in exchange, you're helping promote it, helping to raise capital, helping Is there other responsibilities involved in that as well, or is it mostly just on the capital raising side?
So I think that it depends. It depends on what it is that they're looking for. Like if there's other people that are local to the area, then maybe they might not need as much help on the asset management side. Or perhaps they don't need you to be boots on the ground to meet property managers or GCs or anything on site. So in
Hmm.
this situation, it was definitely helping to raise the capital, but then I let them know too, like I'm here. I've been on site, so I was able to kind of help advertise by creating some social media posts and some pictures and videos and all that stuff, just to kind of like help throw the deal out there and help educate other people on the concept of investing passively in multifamily.
Yeah, I love that. I have a lot of people who are newer to the business hit me up and ask for advice, and I think you're a great example of somebody that um, it's adding value to maybe I'm assuming your partner has got a little bit more experience in this, but they just don't happen to be local. And so you're saying, hey, I'm local and I know this area and I can add value by helping with the social media, maybe with some asset management, boots on the ground, potentially raising capital. And that's how you can add value. And I think that's a super awesome way like, I think you're a great example of someone that is wanting to get into business about how you can add value and get involved in projects. And so I want to acknowledge and applaud that effort as well. And so, and I know that
Thank
that's
you.
also tied to your involvement in helping teach people about generational wealth and financial literacy skills, and that you've spent a lot of time teaching people about how to be a passive investor and things like that. Can you talk a little bit about what is your strategy with that thought process, and any lessons you've learned along that journey?
Yeah. So I guess I'll bring it back a little bit as it relates to the kind of the financial literacy and the generational wealth. I didn't grow up in a family that was really like any involvement in real estate at all. My parents were both W-2 employees. They had very great jobs and high paying and stuff. So we were never like missing anything per se. But the concept of working a W-2 and continuing in that, what I guess a lot of real estate professionals call like the rat race, right? If you are working, then you are getting paid, but as soon as that work stops or you're laid off or you get a pay cut, there's really no other opportunity for you. So the concept of generational wealth and financial literacy is really important to me because I feel like when you can teach other people the value of passive income and using basically leveraging the GP's experience, their time, their own resources, and getting in on deals where they can grow their portfolio and also mitigate some of their risk with their jobs. That's so important. And I, for some reason, I don't know, I've always been like this huge person that loves to just help other people. And that's kind of my way of giving back is like I've self-educated, I've invested in myself, and I've learned so much knowledge that I feel like I'm in how do you put it? Like I feel like I'm in that box, like ready to explode and like share all of that knowledge and stuff with other people. So that's exactly what I've been doing and helping people along in their investing journey. And it's been amazing.
Love that. I can totally relate to what you're saying, Nicole. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I started the Real Estate Niche Show, is to be able to share not only the wisdom that I've learned from my mentors and my experience along the way, but to be able to connect with great people like yourself, to be able to hopefully share that wisdom and help other people drink the Kool-Aid that I love to serve and drink myself, which is, commercial real estate investing and passive income and all the great, wonderful benefits that come from that. And so I just want to, I think that it's the more people that, are involved in this, the better. And so that's really, really awesome.
Right. Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where it's like, it's not just about getting them completely invested. It's also like what to do with that money whenever you have it, right? How do you make that money grow? How do you work that equity multiple and that, all the other returns to your advantage. And so that's where the generational wealth comes in too, because you grow your wealth, you grow your net worth for your family and, to take care of them or help your kids have a little bit of a step up in life. But they need to know what to do with it then later on as well. Otherwise it was for what, right? So that's why I kind of keep my foot a little bit in that residential side, because I take my kids and I'm like, you're gonna learn, the value of hard work. You're gonna see like how all of this works and help them to grow. So it's been fun.
Such a great opportunity and I guess tool for teaching this type of experience. It's so practical. So that's amazing. And just to clarify, are you focused exclusively on real estate, or do you still have a W-2 job as well?
No, I'm focused exclusively on real estate. So that's
Okay,
my
perfect.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. I just know that there's a lot of people that have that W-2 and they are just they stop themselves from wanting to pursue, this type of path, the one that you jumped into. And so, what words of wisdom would you give to somebody like that? That's like, I want to do it. I hear good things about it. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I just can't give up this W-2.
I would say it's different for everyone, right? Like some people really love their W-2 and they don't want to get out of it, but they
True.
also realize too that there's that concept of, well, if I don't work, then I don't get paid, so I better keep healthy and not get hurt or anything like that. So I think for people like that, but that love their W-2, but they also want some flexibility and they maybe don't have that much time, then I would always recommend like passively investing, right? Getting on with people that are doing this full time, that love it and have that passion for growing the portfolio and providing the best returns for their investors. And then for the people that like really don't like their job at all, the W-2, I don't know, if they've got some time, then definitely getting a little bit more active into it. But even for myself, I'm in real estate full time, but I still passively invest because we only have so much time in a day. And
Mhm.
why overextend yourself when you've got other people that like, and trust that you can invest with and grow your portfolio that way too. So
Amen.
yeah,
And what do you like to passively invest in?
I passively invest in multifamily as well, although I have been interested in storage units. So I don't know a ton about that asset class, but
Mhm.
I know that it's another one that's lucrative, right? Because when people downsize or they're in between moves, you those are going to be things that they still need access to, the storage units. So they're not going anywhere. So I'd like to learn more about that asset
Nice.
class.
Yeah, I've definitely
Mhm.
been able to speak with some people on the show about that asset class as well. There's certainly the hot asset class, but there's many others. We personally put together syndications around shopping centers, office buildings, industrial properties. In fact, we just did a pretty large portfolio of medical buildings over there in Houston at the end of 2021. We bought so definitely there's a whole wide world of asset classes that you can passively invest in. And I'm just, glad that people are starting to become aware of all these different things. And that's part of the goal here with the Real Estate Niche Show is to kind of show the diversity of opportunities and people that are out there. So, um,
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
anywho, let's pivot a little bit. I'd love to learn a little bit more about you, Nicole. And so one of the questions that I'd love to ask you is, personally or professionally, how do you like to invest in yourself?
So personally investing myself, I am always a proponent of learning, like always like educating yourself. So I love, love, love to read. I've been part of other masterminds where, they've got built-in courses or different things that you can learn about real estate or personal tools like mindset development, all that fun stuff. So I would definitely say investing in myself relates to reading and trying to gain as much knowledge as I can in the world of everything, real estate, finance. I have a lot of different interests, I guess. So a little bit of everything. And that kind of plays into both personal and professional, because when I can be happy and work on myself and improve myself, then that then transitions into the business stuff as well. So kind of works in two and two.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I love that. I ask this question often, and that's definitely one of the top answers: is education and the mindset that it takes to live this type of life and to have that mindset of living a life of abundance. I think is crystal clear. That's super important. And so the next question, of course, aside from any of the examples you've already provided, um, how do you like to invest in the community?
Investing in the community, I like to go into the distressed communities and build those homes and stuff up. So they're not always the nicest communities to drive through and whatnot, but they're still people and they still deserve to have, safe and loving and nice places to live in. So I would
Mhm.
definitely say that's the top, is improving the homes there. And then investing in the community. I don't know. I feel like I've always been a bit of an open book, and I like to think of myself as being somewhat approachable. So when people come to me and they ask questions, whether they are in real estate or not, but they're curious about something, I share everything that I know. Like it makes no difference to hold something back because you're afraid that they'll do better than you or they'll have more investors or whatever. It's like, no, just share you and be open and honest and help other people along in their journey. So I'd say that's a top one.
Love that. Agree completely. The what's that motto? High tide raises all boats, or whatever. And so, yes,
Mhm.
there's a world of abundance here. There's opportunity everywhere, in good times and bad. And so, I think that's the right mentality to have, especially in this
Yeah.
business.
Mhm.
Moving forward, how does Nicole define the word success?
Success means to me, mm, leaving a legacy. I think it means a lot to, obviously, of course, let me back up. So everyone wants to create like better lives for their families and make sure that that they've got all the resources that they need and all the money, and they're never, all of their needs and wants have been met, right? But there's a different part of life to where it means a lot to me to go out and do that for other people too. So it's not
Hmm.
just my family that's benefiting, it's other people's families, and then the generations that they'll be able to improve as well with all of this new knowledge and opportunity. So success in a whole is just like just being a good resource and being a good person to other people. Like that just means a lot to me. So
Amen. Being a good resource for other people. That's a great way to be. That's amazing. Awesome. So as we're starting to wind down, I'm curious, is there any other advice or words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
yeah, I think a word of advice that I would tell other people on their journey, whether they're ahead of me or they're behind me on it, is just to be persistent. Right, just keeping like a positive mindset about things can do wonders. I think that there's a lot of stuff that happens in the background in real estate. Like I'm dealing with, I guess I don't want to go like too far into it, but dealing with contractor issues and all that fun stuff. And the issues that you experience can really tear a person down. And but I think that that's why it's important to understand that the struggles and the experiences that you go through on your journey, they're there for a reason, right? They're there to like teach you something. So the advice that I would give to other people is to just stay persistent, stay positive, and know that your time of abundance will come when it's the right time for you.
Love that. Yep. Staying persistent, consistent, diligent, all those good things. Great, solid advice. Wonderful. So if anybody was interested in getting a hold of you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn. So under Nicole Gauthier, and that's Gauthier, or they can reach out to me on Instagram under Wicked Holdings LLC, or at my website at www.wicked-holdings.com. And I actually have a free guide that I had created for people that are trying to get passively invested, and they're confused on the LP, GP, what's the syndication, like all that stuff. So free resource for them up there, and my portal's there as well if people are interested in investment opportunities.
Wonderful. Well, Nicole, thanks again for coming on the Real Estate Niche Show. And thanks everybody for listening. And that's been Nicole Gauthier. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. It was a blast.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Niche Show. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me or the show, you can follow me on Instagram at Ben Kogut and at The Real Estate Niche Show. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.